World Events. Episode 1. The Moon Landing, Apollo 11, 1969. Introduction. Welcome to the first episode of World Events, a column created to help you learn English while discovering the stories behind some of the most important moments in modern history. Today, we'll travel back to 1969, a year when the entire world stopped to watch a dream come true, the first human landing on the moon. What was the moon landing? The moon landing refers to the moment when people from Earth, for the very first time, walked on the surface of the moon. This historic event happened on July 20th, 1969, when American astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, part of the Apollo 11 mission, set foot on the moon while millions of people watched on television. The words, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," became world famous and are still remembered today. When and where did it happen? The moon landing took place on July 20th, 1969. The astronauts traveled from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, USA, to the moon, which is about 384,400 kilometers, 238,855 miles, from Earth. The landing site on the moon was called the Sea of Tranquility, a flat, quiet area chosen for safety. What caused the moon landing? The moon landing was the result of a long period known as the space race, a competition mainly between the United States and the Soviet Union. After World War II, both countries wanted to show their power and technology. When the Soviet Union launched the first satellite, Sputnik, in 1957 and later sent the first person, Yuri Gagarin, into space, the United States felt it had to catch up. In 1961, U.S. President John F. Kennedy promised that America would send a man to the moon and bring him back safely before the end of the 1960s. Who was involved? The Apollo 11 mission included 3 astronauts: Neil Armstrong, the commander; Edwin "Buzz" Aldrin, the lunar module pilot; and Michael Collins, the command module pilot. Armstrong and Aldrin landed on the moon, while Collins remained in orbit above, piloting the command module. Thousands of scientists, engineers, and workers at NASA, America's space agency, made this mission possible. What happened during the event? Apollo 11 launched from Earth on July 16, 1969, carrying the 3 astronauts. After traveling through space for 4 days, the spacecraft entered the moon's orbit. On July 20th, the lunar module Eagle, carrying Armstrong and Aldrin, separated from the command module and slowly descended to the moon's surface. The landing was tense, fuel was running low, and the surface was rocky, but Armstrong's careful piloting brought them safely down. Once they landed, Neil Armstrong climbed down the ladder and became the first human to set foot on another world. He was soon joined by Buzz Aldrin. Together, they spent about 2.5 hours exploring, collecting moon rocks and soil, and setting up scientific equipment. All the while, Michael Collins remained alone in the command module, circling the moon and making sure his crewmates could return safely. After their historic walk, Armstrong and Aldrin returned to the lunar module, blasted off to rejoin Collins, and together the 3 astronauts returned to Earth, landing in the Pacific Ocean on July 24, 1969. The whole world cheered their safe return. Effects on the world. The moon landing was a moment of unity and inspiration for people everywhere. It showed what humans can achieve with imagination, courage, and teamwork. The technology developed for the mission led to advances in computers, engineering, and material science, which later improved everyday life on Earth. For many, the moon landing was a symbol of hope and peace during a time of conflict and uncertainty on Earth. It encouraged young people to dream big, study science, and believe that even the impossible is possible. The event is still seen as one of humanity's greatest achievements. Vocabulary list. Astronaut, a person trained to travel and work in space. Orbit, the path a spacecraft or planet follows around another object. Module, a section or part of a spacecraft. Lunar, relating to the moon. Mission, an important job, especially in space exploration. Descent, the act of moving downward. Achievement, something important or difficult that is successfully completed. Inspiration, something or someone that motivates you to do something. Discussion questions. How do you think people felt watching the moon landing live on TV in 1969? Why do you think the moon landing is still important today? If you could travel to space, where would you want to go and why?